paper trade, and I think I blew a couple accounts.
All right, no worries, no worries. We're gonna get it right. We're gonna get it right. All right. Is everything posted? All right, cool. It's posted. All right. So let's just go ahead and get this party started. Thank you very much, everyone. Welcome to Mindset. Let me make sure I have my setup here. Let me see. You know what? I'll put it right here. There we go. All right. So Mindset. This is where we come in. It is where we kind of clear out, reset ourselves back to zero. We start all the way over. That way we can come completely objective to the market. I appreciate everyone that's tapping in right now. I'm sorry it was a little later than I expected. I was supposed to start this at 5. That's all right. We're going to get to it. I got a good message for y'all. So midweek mindset reset, Wednesday wisdom for weekend wins to refuel your fire, reignite your passion, especially when it comes out of trading. We get a whole lot of challenges in that. All right. So starting with this. So the way I'm going to go ahead and do this call today, I'm going to break this down from one of my favorite speakers, Eric Thomas. He's really, really, really good. I like his skills. I like what he comes about. And he really he's very pointed and very direct. And he finds a way to really hit you where it hurts and it tells you the truth. So one of the phrases and the concept that I am going to go ahead and talk off of that kind of comes up from Eric Thomas is you owe you. No one is here to do anything for you. At the end of the day, the way everything is designed in the market, in your family too, like everything around the world, you only have these 2 hands. That's it. If you can't control what's going on around you with the 2 hands that you have, then there's going to be a whole lot of chaos that's going. You're either A, you're going to try to juggle more than you can actually handle, or B, you're really not having a full grip on what you're trying to attack. So you owe you more than anything else. So we're going to do that for establishing a proper mental wellness when it comes down to trading, and emphasize where you fall in the category of oneself, like how you supposed to be able to react to certain situations. All right, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so let's understand what you owe, right? So think of it this way. If you're taking a trade and you get in a trade, and then out of nowhere, you're taking like 6 trades, 7 trades, you're to the point that you not only just overtrade, but when the dust settles, when it's almost like either A, from the trader's perspective, futures trader's perspective, especially if you're a funded trader, you blew your account, or you hit a threshold in your account that you were uncomfortable with because it's more than you was willing to risk for the day, or whatever the situation is. The lack of rest, right? That's another one. You owe yourself rest. You owe yourself control. And remember what we talked about a few weeks ago on focusing on our dreams. We focus on all the things: identity, control, understanding, scrutiny. Like there's so much that we are focused on, so that way you can really hone in your skills, right? But you cannot neglect the fact of what is the definition of overtrading. I am a scalper. My job is to take the opportunities that's presented in front of me, and I am in heavy leverage. So it means that if it's not giving me the desired result, there's nothing to wait for. There's no, oh, maybe it's the next setup. No, I got into this trade expecting X, Y, and Z. And if it's taking too long for me, and I'm in a trade where it feels like it's starting to turn into a day swing, guess what? I got to cut it. So I'm probably in my trades a lot of times than normal traders. So you have to first identify that. What is your definition of overtrading? Even I overtrade, right? But at the end of the day, you have to line up what you have in your design and what is overtrading. Okay. So let's talk about lack of rest. The market is like, especially with the futures market, is 23.6, 23.5, right? For stocks and option, it's literally like a 9-to-5 job, 5 days a week. And depending on how you do your charting before, like the lack of rest can affect you as far as your trading decisions. It's like, I want you to look at the trading market as heavy machinery. It is not for the weak of heart. It is not for someone to just come in as a novice. It takes training, it takes practice, it takes skills, it takes shadowing. It takes a lot to get to the point when you're dealing with the market. So since it's a well-oiled machine and you don't know how to operate in it, you might get yourself hurt. So you don't want to go into the market and you're not in the most optimal state of mind between rest, sleep, or whatever the case may be. So it's very important that you get your rest in. It's very important that you don't overtrade. And it's also very important that you do not neglect your mental health. So if you're experiencing something from the aspect of, do you have doubt? And we talked about this in one of my other classes where I specifically said shame and anger kind of sit in the same house. But when you speak about disgust, it kind of allows you to be able to reset yourself and be like, all right, I'm disgusted by this. That means I have to change. You could be angry about your trading journey. You could be angry about what's going on. You could be angry about those things, but you have to get over it. You need to be disgusted on why it made you angry in the first place or why you're shameful in the first place. So it's very important that you address that mental health. Maybe even take a step back from trading. Maybe you spend a week, maybe you spend a month, maybe you shut it down for a little bit. Maybe you just go and do something nice for yourself. Do not neglect the mental health. All right. So I want you to really write the word down, refund. You got to be able to refund yourself because you're spending a lot of energy into what you're crafting in this trading journey. So you owe yourself to refund that back to yourself. And I'm going to explain that a little bit further. Okay. Next slide. So let's discuss the refund, right? Like, what's the process of refund? All right. So when you're taking your trades, I know some traders, and this can really put you on tilt. And I know I'm going with a poker reference. Let's just say you made $10,000, right? After you made $10,000, you was like, oh, cool, I made $10,000. I'm good. Especially the way the market's been moving. There've been very, very good price action. But you decided to take the same $10,000 and you put it right back into the market. So where are you at the point of your trading? Okay, maybe I'm gonna say this a little different. If you work at a job and the job is supposed to pay you X amount of dollars per hour, and all the job did is stack the money and never gave it to you, would you be pissed? Would you be upset that you never got a check at all and it's 2 months, 3 months, a year, 6 months? And then out of nowhere, the job decided, oh, you know what? We went completely bankrupt. We made some mistakes. And unfortunately, we don't have no money for you. That will set you off. So ask yourself, why did you start off with a $100 account? You made 500 on a Tesla put. Like today, Tesla puts was printing. But then you didn't even take, let's just say you made 300%, 400%. You didn't take not even $1 out so that way you can go buy yourself lunch, dinner, maybe buy yourself something nice. You never paid yourself. So the refund process does take the fact that you got to be able to give yourself some type of accolade. You got to give yourself some type of milestone marker. You got to give yourself these thresholds where you're like, look, I did this. I did great. Because the problem that we have as traders is when we lose money, the first thing that creeps up in our head is, I suck at this. I am not that good. I was wrong. No, it did not work. All the negativity is going to come out. Then the doubt, then the shame or the anger, and then you revenge trade. So if you don't have these internal markers, so that way you can be able to build that growth, learning, and resilience, guess what ends up happening? You then take it out on the market, and the market really doesn't care. It doesn't care how your emotions are. If you put your money out there in exposure, guess what? They're going to go ahead and take it if you're not careful. So you have to have a refund process where you give back to yourself. I have one of my most profitable trades. I put it to the side, and I'm like, all right, this is what I'm attaining for. That's what I want to do on a consistent level. But before that, I got to have proper risk management. Yes, I made X amount of dollars because I was able to make X amount of dollars, but 1,000% days don't exist every day. $10,000 days don't exist every day. So it's very important that you put these accolades, put that structure, put your risk manager in place. And when you do something good, say, you know what? I did a great job. I am a great trader. I did something successful that is very repeatable, and I want to be able to practice that. That's why we tell you to journal. That's why we look at whatever are the problems, that way we can get rid of the problems and be able to focus on the things that are good so we can repeat them, rinse and repeat, right? So I want you to do a lot, and I'm gonna give you a couple of them, right? A refunding process, right? Let's do setting boundaries. From a futures trader's perspective, I want you, because I kind of had a conversation with my wife and I was trying to explain to her, the market's going to always be there. So if you are looking to make X amount of dollars, don't only look for the X amount of dollars, because what ends up happening, if you end up taking a loss, you're like, I got to make that up and then that. That is a type of revenge trade. It's not, it's subtle. It doesn't feel like revenge trade, but you put yourself in this tilt mentality like in poker, and then now you're trying to catch up. Now it doesn't feel like you're being very objective. You might sit in a trade longer than you need to. You might cut your stop loss because I already lost on the last one. I can't do it. And that's why we need to reset to zero. So I need you to set boundaries. That's the only way you're going to stay at zero and be objective to the market, right? So setting boundaries. Maybe it's, I need to make $1,000, but I'm not willing to lose $250 to do so. Maybe I need to go ahead and make $2,000, but I'm not willing to lose $500 to do so. 25% of my goal. And if I lose that $250, I'm going to shut it down and I'll just go ahead and see it for the next day. Now, I want you to go ahead and think of time for reflection. So that's where was your mindset at the time that you took the trade? That is a very important refund process that you have to have, because that's going to let you know, were you in the most optimal point to be successful? You can't repeat something that is good if you never know what was good in the first place. You can't get to your destination if you never know where you're coming from. So it's very important that you do some self-reflection. And the last one is ongoing education. Neil talks about it all the time. We suggest books. We suggest all types of, we suggest Audible, like all types of books. The reason why is because we want you to be literally, and I know it sounds kind of crazy, 1% better. I don't care if you feel like you're at 100%. The market, you can always work on yourself. I'm going to leave you out with this quote. The moment that you become stagnant is the moment that you're replaceable. The moment that you are stagnant, complacent, c'est la vie, hands up in the air, and you just kick your feet up, everything is fine, is the moment that you're replaceable. Now, there are some opportunities where you can be stagnant. You've already reached your goals. You already got to your point. Please, by all, be stagnant. Be complacent. I don't care what opportunities are. I hit my goal for the day, for the week, for the year, for my life. That's okay for them to replace you because you already got your goal for your life. So what difference does it make? If you're an aggressive risk-taking trader, by the time you hit your goals, you might as well just go ahead and pull back a little bit. But it's okay to be replaceable. But if you're going to be complacent on your knowledge and you haven't reached those goals and you don't make yourself better, so that way you can be able to weather the storms, because there will be storms. I don't care how successful you are. I promise you, you'll be replaceable. The market will chew you up and spit you out. All right, so let's go to the next slide. So strategies for mental wellness. Now I gave you a list and I still got the list in the back. I might go ahead and just kind of briefly go over this, and then we'll start to really dig in on the list that I normally give you at the end of each of these videos. But just to kind of give you a little bit, mindfulness, meditation, maintaining a trading journal. We talk about that, connecting with a trading community. If you do not have a trading community, you can hear my voice. I'm telling you, Chico.com is a great community. We have great coaches. We have great people. Even each one, reach one, teach one. Everyone does it. I'm telling you, just come check us out. But overall, you got to have like clear significance on your strategy and enhance your mental health wellness. It is key. If you're not in the right mindset before you go into the market, by all means, don't even open up your trading, the trading floor. Don't open your trading account. Just sit back, maybe watch the market to kind of keep everything going, but don't operate when you're duplicit. Your head is in one place, you're upset about this, and then the market is over here doing things. You're not really paying attention. It's like driving a car and you're not even holding on to the steering wheel. All right. So let's go ahead and go to the next slide. All right. So as I conclude with this and I get towards the end, I need you to have a commitment to yourself. I don't know what that is. I can't tell you that. I have a commitment to myself. I have my vision board. And actually, you know what? I'll leave you with something that Steve Harvey had said in one of his videos. And he basically said, I want you to write 100 things that you want to accomplish in your life. By the time you get to number 20 to 25, it gets hard. And I'm talking, it could be you want to make $1 million, you want to give $10,000 to charity. You could, it's hard to get past 25. I'll tell you this, I've tried. I think I got to like 32 and I just gave up. I don't know, but it kind of tells you that what you need is quite attainable, and it's not a long list of things. Yeah, and mind you, I'm not talking about something that is detailed or very tiny or minuscule. I'm talking about life-changing achievement goals, right? So when I was in elementary, there was this program that they kind of came up with. It was called Project Child. It was like middle school before you got to middle school. Very, very unique. And they kind of like allowed yourself to kind of go through classes and subjects. So I had a math teacher, English teacher, and then, you know, the norms, the Spanish, whatever, right? And what was kind of good about it, it was that each one of them, they ask you what's your goal to attain in that class, right? So we would have to write down our goals. I suggest, if you have not written at least a goal of what you're looking to get out of the market per day, per week, per year, I suggest that you actually take that time and do that. If there's something like, I want to be able to buy my parents a home, and let's just say they're staying in like a apartment or whatever, I want you to write that down and then kind of connect it to what you're trying to do on a daily. So that way you have clear-cut, directed goals. That's what he's basically saying. He's in Steve Harvey's video, he was basically saying, hey, you know, write your goals, make it true. Like you could think it, but then you could forget it. But if it's in pen and paper, it's almost like you speaking it. So it's very important that you write down the goals. That's a very clear commitment. And then that's where you start really owing you what you owe yourself. You did not come out and when you came into this world, yes, you came in as a baby and everything else, but there's a point when you got to 18, you had obligations to make sure your survival is met. So you owe yourself a refund. You owe yourself everything that you did. You owe yourself to be where you need to be. You owe yourself all your goals. You owe yourself to be exactly the type of trader that you are. And the only way you're going to do that is to make that commitment to yourself. There's no NBA player that plays on the league and then out of nowhere, they just expect a check. No, they sign a contract. What type of contract did you sign with yourself? What did you tell yourself you will not do? Is it, I will not ever let myself get into a trade that's not at support? Am I not going to go ahead and take a trade that's outside of my strategy? I will not leverage more than 1% of my goal of my portfolio, 10% of my portfolio, 20% of my portfolio. What is your commitments to become that better trader that you are? And I want you to take that time so that way you can self-assess, self-awareness, make those changes, and then I need you to attack the market when you have all those said and done. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. I've left you with this before. We talk about self-awareness and emotional check-ins, very important. Intuition is a very powerful thing, right? I don't want you to take away your intuition. You know who you are, you know how everything is. You need to know what sets you off. If it's bad entries set you off, stop taking bad entries. That could be one. So that's very key. Couple of questions you could probably ask yourself: are you acting out on fear, greed, or logical analysis? Ask yourself the question before you actually click the button, before you even set the order up. Ask yourself that question. Journal on reflective analysis. Maintaining a journal. I'm not going to repeat it right now, but I've told you, You got to know where you're going. You know what I'm saying? If you never know where you came from, there's nothing to review. I read back some of my stuff. Oh my God, I was a crazy trader then. And I told myself I'll never take zero DTEs anymore. I had to go apologize to myself. And I was like, yeah, you know, those zero DTEs, you just didn't have a really good strategy because futures kind of helped you with your entry. So you're back at it again, right? So you could go ahead and refresh, and it's fun if you really think about it. It's almost like having a conversation with yourself. So that way you know where you're going. All right. Setting boundaries and limits. I already broke that down. If you get up in the morning and think the future is going to be better, a brighter day, it works. I remember somebody was explaining to me there's an experiment that they did. They set two plants side by side. One plant, they covered it up, but then they'll lift the cup and say nothing. All right, you're real sweetness, nice, and everything else. Everything is going to be great. We're going to have a real bright, sunshiny day, everything else. On the other one, it's like, damn, Dad, you suck. You're a terrible. Like, it literally made the second plant that had all the negativity just off of words did not grow as fast as the one that took all the positivity. So where are you? Are you telling yourself the positive things that you need so that we could be able to be a successful trader? Did you take a loss? It was like, you know what? Don't worry, just get to the next one. I'm still working on that. Sometimes I'm like, oh man, I missed my entry. This entry didn't work exactly the way I want to. And then now I'm not even paying attention that they gave me a second entry. That's how that kind of works. So setting boundaries and limits and set it the right way. Educate yourself on the climate. You got to know what type of market climate. Today's market climate was a no-nonsense type of climate. There was a lot of Fed speech that was going on. You had to pay attention. That thing was all over the place. It literally moved around on the wind. All right. That's very important. Scenario and planning that goes with your goals, making sure that you have your plans, you have your strategy, everything is already set. Even if you need to set your planning for the day, how you wake up, how do you chart, put that into there. All right. Diversification and portfolio rebalancing. That's part of the refund process. You got to be able to reward yourself, pull some money out of the account, and you have to also reward yourself with some time of self-reflection, because what it's going to do is going to move to the next one: mindfulness and meditation. I'm not going to get into any theological side of it, but however you do your meditation, very key. So that way you can calm yourself down, understand what you went through, and look at your problems or your successes with all the objectivity as possible. So on that note, thank you very much. This is the end of that portion of it. I do encourage every single one of you to take the challenges that I set forth, and I'm going to have the video posted as well. And I'm going to open up the floor to anyone that wants to share how their day went. Anyone wants to share? Got a few people here today. Did you do good? Did you make $1 million? How was your day today?
I'll go. I had a good day today.
All
I
right.
stuck with restraint and did not trade,
Mhm.
even though it was so tempting, but just watched the market and just, stuck to my plan, not trading. I can't trade until Sunday, so it was rough, but yeah, I owe it to myself to just, watch the market, learn, see, how the candles react, and just continue to just watch so I can, have better entries and not overtrade and go from there.
No, that's great. Did you journal the day also?
You know what? I did not journal, and you know what? I need to do that.
Yeah, because you made some really, really interesting calls today. Really, really interesting calls. Even though you didn't participate in the market, but that
Mhm.
was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. We had a great day.
But let me ask you this. So basically, you kind of set yourself some boundaries.
Yes, boundaries. Yep.
So do you have boundaries for the boundaries so that way you don't actually get into this part of the boundary where you're not trading again?
No, well, I mean, I just revised my plan.
Okay.
How many trades a day that I can trade,
Okay.
and then like my financial goal, for each day. So whichever comes first, then that's it.
Okay. So financial goal meaning whatever loss to income, whichever.
Right.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That's probably going to stop a lot of the flaws. I got to revamp mines. I think I'm going to do mines with a trailing drawdown. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
I'm so used to it with the funded account that I think I need to police myself a bit.
Right.
Even though like today I was positive. I almost no actually I got to 1,000 and then I lost 250 of it on another type of trade, and then I kind of second guessed it, but I still clicked the button. And then I started saying to myself, all right, you know what? We're gonna put trailing drawdown. I don't care that you made 1,000 today. You hit 250. That's it. You're done. So I stopped trading on my funded account.
Yeah. So I look forward to tomorrow.
All right. I appreciate you sharing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else wants to share, or we could wrap it here?
A very quick question.
Yes.
You kept
go ahead.
saying journal.
Mhm.
Is there like is that just like your journal? Is there like a template for a journal if you don't know how to make a journal?
So here's the fun thing about it, right? Journal is probably the most metamorphosic. I don't know what the exact word. Like it's it's evolving. It's always evolving. I started off doing my journal because in the previous cheat code, how we kind of did it, Kim gave us like this template, like here, put this and this, and it kind of gave you like what type of trade, and it was like on a per trade type of setup, right? And I found that a little bit of a nuisance. But again, some people still uses it and they probably still work with it, and that's fine. But mine's is more like I have a journal specifically for the type of trades and my strategies. And then I have an electronic version where I call it the trading Bible. And it has all my strategies with my back test and everything else, right? And then I have a journal of me just having a conversation, which is part of the mental wellness part of it, where I'm like, look, no more zero DTEs. I kind of color it in to kind of like, make it entertaining for myself because I just don't like to write. Just little things. So I would say there is a template. If you Google it, you'll find something. But to be honest, you'll be at the mercy of the person's type of style they want to journal. I would say key things that's probably important. What was your mindset? That's always key. Well, what type of day? How were you feeling? You got to have that in a journal. What trades did you take? Some of the trading journal could be that you took a trade, but you took like 6 entries added, and the setup just kept on presenting itself, but it never really took off. I journaled that one time, and I would say I took 6 attempts at it. But some people would take each and every specific trades and be like, this time I got in because of this candle. It's a very evolving, and think of it this way. What you want to get out of it is what you need to put in it. So if you're putting in the emotions and everything and this and that, when you refer back to it, be like, okay, how do I get back to that? That's when that comes to play. Or, oh, you know what? Netflix earnings is coming up. How did I think in my journal when Netflix earnings was last year? Then you got a reference to that. How did I handle that? What was our plan? What were we doing? That's would be the best way to kind of handle that. But start off with a template. Just Google one. But to be honest, I would say make it your own somehow, some way.
Thanks.
You're very welcome. All right. Anyone else? Any questions?
I'd like to say something.
Hey, how you doing?
Even though I'm not trading, I'm a beginner and I'm learning. It's
Mhm.
been exciting to watch and listen to the trading floor and see the type of calls that have been made and the reaction of the media and how the market is responding to the media. It's been really exciting. But I'm still learning, and I'm seeing how you all respond in the midst of the media frenzy on how you get into your trades. So that's been the exciting part, just to see how you stay calm during those moments and you make the right decision. Sometimes you say, why'd I do that? But that's okay, because sometimes we're going to do that. But just to see that you're even transparent in those moments is really helpful for newbies like me, to see that when I get in a trade, those moments will happen. So I really appreciate the trading floor, because it's really helping me to grow.
Of course. I appreciate those kind words. Did you learn anything new? Are you paper trading right now?
No, I can't yet because I don't have my account set up yet to do
Okay.
that. Yeah, so I'm waiting to get that done.
Okay, cool. But yeah, I'll tell you this. One thing that I always wished for, if I could rewind time, I did not take mindset serious. I'm not gonna lie to you. I remember when Twyla first started, she posted the link. I think I went to one out of like 7 or 8 classes that she did. And I was like, I don't need it. I know how to control my own mind. I don't need it. It took a lot for me to really realize, okay, it might be you, Jeff. Right. And that's when I started really getting my footing and the foundation. And that's why I do mindset the way that I do. I try to make it very inclusive. That way it's very interactive. So I really, really appreciate you sharing your journey as well.
Yes, sir. This is great. Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right.
And
Anyone
for the
else?
last caller who just said that, the last person, it's
Yeah.
going to get even better. You will enjoy it even more.
Yep.
Thank you, Javi. I appreciate that. I've been listening to your comments too and your journey, and it's been amazing to hear how far you've come. Thank you for that.
And it's funny because of trading, and I know Jeff doesn't want to hear this. I've been going to the gym and doing some push-ups and walking. And that's Neil.
Wow, it's awesome.
Yeah, that's some heavy lifting for me. But on
Sorry,
that,
Jeff. Sorry, Jeff.
but to be honest, I did put on my journal, I have to get to the gym. Oh wait, I said that on YouTube. Damn it. Neil's gonna probably come after me for this. I gotta find my way into the gym. I gotta do full on just wellness overall. So I used to be a gym rat. That's the crazy part about it, but I just talk a lot of smack. I'll get back to it. All right. Anyone else wants to share? We're pretty much out of time. Yeah, we're pretty much out of time at this. I apologize. Normally it's supposed to be 5 o'clock to 5:30, but running around with the kids and everything, we'll get it right. All right. On that note, let me go ahead and shut this down. Yeah, know where to find me. I'm on cheatcode.com. You can find us. You can find me on YouTube, of course. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter or X or whatever they call it. That is JD_the_great. Unfortunately, in TradingView, for whatever reason it may be, they won't give me JD_the_great. So it's JD the Great. I usually do like my trade analysis. That's in TradingView. So if you want to follow me there. Other than that, thank you very much for joining in. Saturday Mindset is going to be lit. I already got the curriculum for that one, and we're going to go ahead and knock it completely out the park. So good luck in your trades, and I will see you later.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks, Jeff.